The Texas Department of Public Safety released one of the key pieces of evidence in the jail death investigation of Sandra Bland. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. We will show you that recording almost in its entirety, take the most pertinent parts and show you what happened as the state trooper pulled over Sandra Bland from really the pullover until she was put into a squad car and taken to jail. But we begin with Fox 4's Sean Rabb, who was with lawmakers today, talking about where this investigation goes next from their perspective. Sean.
The one thing that we can take away from today is that all of the leaders who were gathered here today say we must take time and let the investigation run its course and be thorough. And that was what came out of that two and a half hour meeting, and a day and night here in Prairie View filled with emotion. Songs and prayers at Prairie View A&M for Sandra Bland and her family following a more than 2-hour meeting of elected and appointed Texas leaders looking for answers in her jail death.
I think the one thing that most of us know coming out of that briefing, even before we went in, is that this young woman should be alive today.
But she isn't, dying in a Waller County jail cell 3 days after being stopped for a traffic violation by DPS trooper Brian Encinias.
You have two episodes here that are not directly related, but they are connected. You have the traffic stop, and then you have her loss of life in the jail cell. And so we're being very careful to go through both. And again, take the time. Everyone wants the rush. Well, what do you think? What did you see? That's not justice.
State Senator Royce West, who organized this meeting, asked the FBI and Justice Department to investigate with the Texas Rangers.
It is important that you know and that America knows that we want to make certain that there's transparency as it relates to what occurred in the death of Mrs. Bland.
Bland's death, the district attorney making clear, has not been determined to be a homicide.
Whatever the ultimate determination may be, whether that's a suicide or a homicide, that will ultimately be decided by a grand jury of Waller County.
Sandra Bland's death, says State Representative Sylvester Turner, has raised the same questions that have been raised elsewhere in Texas and across the country.
In view of everything that has happened over the last year, and to speak more specifically, people are still asking whether or not Black Lives Matter. And I think it's important for us to respond. They do.
And at that church service tonight, Sandra Bland's mother telling the audience tonight that what happened is going to change the world. She said, my baby Sandra, she was not a convict, she was not a suspect, she was my baby girl.
All right, Sean.
Steve, back to you.
We're about to go to that dash camera video. You've been talking, that was the news of the evening down there, I'm sure, as well. Give us the perspective of what people there are saying we should be taking a look at as we watch this eventual arrest.
Well, first of all, State Senator Royce West was one of those today who said clearly she should not have been taken into custody. Okay. At the same time, we must understand that the trooper, Brian Encinias, was following the law. She did not signal when she changed lanes, and that gave him every right under the laws as a trooper in the state of Texas to pull her over. Where it went bad, it seems, is that she was smoking a cigarette, perhaps did not put that cigarette out when he asked her to. And from there, it kind of went downhill. Everything changed. She was not complying with his commands. She became combative. At one point, he pulled out his taser, threatening to light her up. Those are his words. That was left out of his arrest affidavit, his statement as to why this incident happened, according to his opinion. That was significant, and you'll talk more about that later, I'm sure. In addition to that, once he took her out and handcuffed her, she continued to struggle and was combative. She kicked him in the right shin, he said in his affidavit, and he felt pain in his leg. Those are the points that led to her being charged with assault.
Right. And Sean, we've got it ready. Let's take a look. Roll the tape. July 10th. The video posted online by the DPS begins with Sandra Bland's car on the left side of the screen making a right turn. State Trooper Brian Encinias makes a U-turn, follows Bland, and pulls her over. After making initial contact, the trooper planned to issue a written warning.
You okay?
I'm waiting on you. This is your job. I'm waiting on you. What do you want me to do?
Oh, you seem very irritated.
I am. I really am, because I feel like it's crap for what I'm getting a ticket for. I was getting out of your way. You were speeding up, tailing me. So I move over and you stopped me. So yeah, I am a little irritated, but that doesn't stop you from giving me a ticket. So let's continue.
Are you done?
You asked me what was wrong, and I told you.
Things escalate when Trooper Encina asked Bland to put out her cigarette.
You mind putting out your cigarette, please? Don't mind.
I'm in my car. Why do I have to put out my cigarette?
Well, you can step on out now.
I don't have to step out.
The trooper opens Bland's door as the two continue to argue. Things escalate again when Trooper Encina draws his taser and the tone of his voice changes.
Get out of the car!
And then
I will light you up. Get out!
Wow.
Now!
Wow.
Get out of the car!
Really, for a failure to signal. You're doing all of this for
Get
a failure
over there.
Right, yeah. Yeah, let's take this to court.
The trooper orders Bland, who was recording the incident, to put her phone down. She places it on her car. The shouting match ramps up.
Turn around.
Why won't you tell me that part?
I'm giving you a lawful order. Turn around.
Why will you not tell me
You are not
what's going
compliant.
on? I'm not complying because you just pulled me out of my car.
Turn around.
Are you kidding me? This is some bull.
Put your hands behind your back.
After another minute of arguing and insults, Bland, who is off camera in handcuffs, repeatedly tries to pull away, and she's taken to the ground.
You're about to break my wrist. Can you stop? You are about to break my wrist. Stop.